Welcome back to Gowanus tonight. Well, actually, it's afternoon, and we're in the pit of hell with Vomit Fist. Hell yeah! Introduce yourselves.
We're Doc.
I'm Lurkrot.
I'm Scrag.
The Screecher.
The Screecher.
And they are Vomit Fist. They are Blackened Grindcore for your guts and face. Now, I was wondering, I know everyone knows what Grindcore is. But Blackened Grindcore? How does that work?
Well,
Here, let's show you the difference.
Okay.
Grindcore. Blackened.
Now, Vomit Fist, you started out as a duo, a father-son duo.
yeah.
And why did you decide, as father and son, to work together to bring us Blackened Grindcore? When was this?
Well, I was off in the mountains
Yes.
with my father, and we were hiking through the trails, and I was thinking about how cool it would be because we both like metal and we both play music, drums and guitars, and I decided, I was like, oh, it would be really cool to like have a band with this guy. So, and I have a friend that's also in a black metal band with his friend, with his dad, and so that was inspiring. And so I was in the middle of math class, and I was like writing all of these math, and I was also not doing math and writing like band names. And I was like, oh, well, actually, a funny story. The first band name that I came up with was Asshammer.
Asshammer, okay, yes.
And then, because for some reason we have standards, we were like, no, because we looked it up on Urban Dictionary. So we were like, we want to be taken seriously?
Right.
So then it was Vomit Fist.
Vomit Fist.
And then
that's
one of our
more.
songs was Asshammer.
Right, because if you were Asshammer, we wouldn't even waste our time with you.
Yeah, right?
Obviously.
Vomit Fist is the way to go.
Asshammer.
And then you, Scrag the Screecher, I apologize, joined later. How did you become part of everything?
Well, I remember specifically one day my friend Lurkrot right here was like, Malcolm, I love your voice. I really want you to come audition for this band. And I came to this room, and it was a really grueling day for them. They had auditioned hundreds of people. And I came in, and I started speaking, and then Nick, he had sunglasses on. He just took them off, and he stood up. He was like, "That's our guy." And then he called up the record company. Like, no, but yeah, no. I've been really good friends with Leo ever since we first met in the lunchroom. And
In the lunchroom.
In the lunchroom.
Right before math.
Right before math, exactly, or the absence thereof.
Right.
And me and Leo are good friends, and Leo was like, "Yo, do you want to come sing with or screech with a K with us?" And I was like, "I totally want to. Let's do this." And we came into this room, and then we made magic. Actually, the first song they showed me was a song called "Frogmen," which we will play today. And I wrote some lyrics, and thus Vomit Fist was born as it is today.
As I knew,
Yes.
okay.
I remember Leo's testimony to me at one point. He said, "I know how I can take this band
To the next level.
like a ridiculous level. We got to get Malcolm to sing for it." And I had already seen you perform. I remember famously this moment of you playing with the two of them had a group called Adela and the Ukars, and I saw them do this show. It was the Sandy benefit. And there was
There's
this
a
one
YouTube
moment
video.
where Malcolm
There's a YouTube
throws
video.
himself into the air
Literally horizontal to the floor.
with his guitar on, without flinching, without anything, lands on his back, gets up, continues to play, runs, like jumps off the amp. It's like, that is our guy. Although I was not wearing sunglasses.
So when you perform as a Vomit Fist, though, you don't use your real faces. You paint them up. Can we see an example of this right now at all?
Yes.
We will put on the faces.
Under the rug.
Is this the only band that you're all involved in, or do you have other projects at all?
Yeah.
Because I went on your website and I know the answer already. You also are involved in a band. You weren't able to let Ass go. You're in Space Ass.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh yes, yes. Space Ass is that's a group we are involved in. They are a rap duo.
We have many cells across the country.
Yes.
Space Ass is
Space Ass is a intergalactic
bands in every state.
an intergalactic rap group.
Yes.
We have one song.
We actually have another. No, we have 2 songs.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, we have 2 songs. We have 2 songs. One, I don't really remember what they're about, but they are songs. I don't even remember what they're called. I think one's called Blast from the Past.
Blast from the Future.
Yeah, Blast from the Future.
And then we tagged on all these like Part 2, The Reckoning,
Yes.
Gold Edition, Platinum, you know.
And the Future.
And then there's listed another project called Mucus.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
That
This
is
real.
That is real.
That is real.
It's real. That's a
Now remember, Space Ass doesn't exist.
Space
but
Ass
Mucus
doesn't
is
exist.
very much with us.
Yes.
Mucus is our is another grindcore project, but it's just me and him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we just go crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we don't really practice our songs. We just like
Doing
write
what?
songs.
We write songs within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Mucus is premiering May, 16th?
yeah.
There's the Leo Ceration Day. At
Leo
Spectrum.
Ceration, yeah, it's a day that's like dedicated to me because
He deserves it.
Yeah, everyone does.
everyone
did.
did. Yeah, some people get birthdays. I have Leo Ceration, and so I don't know what to do with you.
It'll be Mucus and Vomit Fist.
It'll be Mucus and Vomit Fist and all the fun things.
I feel like maybe Space Ass should do one song.
Oh, we should totally do
Yes,
this.
we should. Yes,
Space
even though
Ass.
they're not real, Space Ass isn't real.
No,
And Nick, you've been in the music biz a while.
Yeah.
You were in a band called Dr. Nerve.
Still am.
You
Dr.
are.
Nerve has been around for 30 years now.
Okay.
And we've got a legacy of many records, 10 records.
Okay.
We tour regularly. We're going to the Rock and Opposition Festival in France in September.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be touring after that, doing a tour of Germany, France, Italy, Switzerland, and putting out a self-produced EP next year.
What's the sound of Dr. Nerve?
Dr. Nerve is it's an 8-piece band, 4 horns, guitar, keyboards, drums, bass, mostly instrumental. It's been described as like Stravinsky meets the Sex Pistols, Bartok meets Black Sabbath.
Nice.
Very heavy, complex, high energy stuff. Very through composed. Tricky, but.
This one's called Public Exchange.
Strong.
How much time do you devote to each thing? How much time do you devote to Dr. Nerve, to Vomit Fist? How do you separate the two? What do you do?
It really varies according to sort of what's on the front burner schedule-wise. So, for example, right now I'm spending more time organizing the tour in September than I am composing for Dr. Nerve, for example. With Vomit Fist, these guys are going to college next September. You know,
Right.
I don't know what's going to happen
Right.
with these guys, with Vomit Fist after September. So now is the big push. I'm doing
Gotcha.
everything I can with Vomit Fist.
All right, move on. You were actually taxed to set a vile and sacred text to music.
Oh yes.
The
That
Dark
was
One
insane.
and the Sacred Slut.
Yes.
What was that all about?
My good friend Valeria Vasilevsky and her
That's an awesome name.
husband Philip Trimble, they study tantric. They're at a tantric studies center,
Oh.
and one of the things that they studied is this old sacred poem, which is horrifically vile, sort of spiritually shocking, deliberately spiritually shocking, sort of
Right.
like a Buddhist sledgehammer to the
Face.
sort of head of your soul. You know,
Right,
it's like it's designed to kind of confuse and shock. You know, and so she and I have done a bunch of work together in the past. And she just thought it would be really cool to have this particular poem set to music.
Yeah.
And she didn't really know what
we
I had
were.
in mind until she sent me the poem. I said, "Oh, this is a Vomit Fist tune." And she said, "Oh, what's Vomit Fist? Oh, you got to check out Vomit Fist." So I sent her a few YouTube clips, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is so right." So we're actually so we had a rhythm that we were already working on, a structure that we were already been working on. And then I kind of restructured the words of this poem to make it fit the rhythm. It's diabolically difficult to sing and to play. We will not do that for you today. It's still in development.
It's still in development.
But we're actually going to release a one-song EP for the Tantric Studies Center to sell at their benefit in June, and we're going to play at that benefit. So we're going to give them a serious Zen blow.
Cool. Speaking of EPs, your first EP, which you've at this point titled "Forgive but Avenge," when will that be coming out? How many songs will be on it? What's the story on that?
About 20 minutes of music. We are going to be finishing up the vocals in the next week or so, mixing within a month, and hopefully do an early summer release.
And as a band, how many shows have you played together? And what was the craziest thing that's ever happened at one?
Oh,
Craziest thing was, well, the craziest thing for me was your best friend, who's like, how old is he?
He's my age.
He's like 50,
22.
tackling him to the ground. It's become a thing to just tackle Malcolm to the ground.
yeah. For some reason, I was like, I'm go to the ground. I don't know why. I just like. Sometimes I get tired while I'm singing like live, so I'm just kind of like, it's like I feel like it'll work if I just lay down and I do that.
That seems like that would work against a band's frontman.
I don't know.
I need to take a nap.
The thing
in
is,
the
he
middle of
doesn't
the
just
show.
lie down. He lies down in the middle of the mosh pit. So,
I feel like it's just like if I lie down, things will happen to me and it'll look cool. So.
Right. That's a good way of looking at things. Okay, what else have we got here? So, well, I want to get back to the whole like Dark One, Sacred Slut, and the basic lyrics of Vomit Fist. At any point, did you, because this man is your son, did you ever feel uncomfortable with sort of any subject matter in the songs, or were you just completely trust him? Or?
all of the subject matter is like
Yeah.
totally psychotic fantasy craziness. Like
It never felt uncomfortable. Sacred Slut is probably the most indefensible.
and he brought it.
Yeah.
but we didn't write it.
Right.
So
Not
it's
our
just-
fault.
yeah.
Not my fault.
I actually no. I'm going to take that question seriously. None of the lyrics that they generated have I ever had any issue with.
Okay.
It's deep, beautiful poetry.
Mhm.
It's generated very spontaneously. I've seen them work together to create lyrics to an entire tune within like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then rehearse it. And we have a song, you know, in 15 rehearsal minutes. And the words are often, you know, funny, poignant, very hard hitting, structurally really interesting,
Yeah.
super honest, just gut level, powerful. With the Sacred Slut, however, that there was some subject matter in there that was pretty deep, and I truly wanted to understand what is this poem about? Like, what are we singing about?
Right.
I do not study tantric Buddhism. I'm reading like
Me, do you?
5 verses
Uh-huh.
of pretty horrific stuff,
Nice.
and if I'm going to put my band behind that, our band behind that,
Yeah.
I want to be able to answer questions about it. I want to be able to defend it. I want to know what we're singing about. So I pushed back. I asked a bunch of questions. I got some extremely erudite responses from their teacher, and it was a fascinating, crash course in the spiritual practice that they pursue. And I felt confident. It's like, okay, the death in this poem, for example, is not a sort of slasher movie death.
Right.
There's a spiritual death. It's very symbolic of releasing yourself from flesh to attain a higher
Right.
position. And it's like, all right, all respect, we will put everything behind
Right.
this.
Yeah.
It's not our tradition, but we will honor it.
So do these two handle the songwriting mostly, or do you write any of the songs? How's that split up?
I typically,
write all the music.
I'm the guy that comes up with the riffs and structures. I collaborate with Leo especially. We sort of work with structures. We'll kind of go back and forth on what works better this here or that there. But I come up, with most of it.
Right. And
Then he'll come up with his drum stuff. They'll sort of collaborate on lyrics, or
Words.
Malcolm will come in with lyrics that are totally ready.
now, as far as the lyrics go, what is the subject matters you like to deal with mostly?
We'll talk about Frogmen.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, because you
The
wrote
first tune, right?
okay.
First
So
tune you
the
ever
first
wrote
tune
was-
we ever wrote was kind of like they gave me a song over which to screech, and I kind of just was like I don't really know. There was really no impetus. I was just kind of like, what's creepy? All right, frogs plus men. And so it was just kind of like, I was like, I don't really know how I started thinking frogs, but then I imagined like these frog people from like another universe.
So Lovecraftian Frogmen.
Yes!
rather
Oh my
than-
God, Lovecraft is one of our biggest. Like, okay,
I love that.
like yeah, no, but that's the key word.
Right.
Yeah, no, but yeah, no, like Lovecraftian. Like, I think a lot of our themes are like Lovecraftian. Like, you can't even conceive. Like, but yeah, no, Frogmen
Unimaginable
kind of.
pain.
Yeah, these guys who come down from the stars and then they just like. They have technology that we can never hope,
That just spews vomit onto the earth.
yeah, like bile.
Bile.
Right.
And then
Blood
like,
and bile.
this song is called lyrics are either about like power or just kind of like desperation and kind of like not being able to do anything because it's hopeless.
We wrote this one song called Bloodfisher.
Yes.
Which is about
great
this
song.
either ancient or futuristic civilization. I don't know. That basically it's an island, and everybody's totally weak except for one person, and that one person is assigned the job of going out into a sea of literal blood, where that's only inhabited by sharks.
Right.
That are going insane because they're in blood, and so they turn on that thing. So they're literally insane on a constant basis, and they have to go out on a boat. That guy has to go out on a boat and tie himself to the boat and just beat this an insane shark to death, and bring it back to his civilization so that they can eat. And so the lyrics are like,
in
the crimson
crimson
ocean, I risk my
life
life to feed myself, sink under.
Bring a spirit, break the flesh, a sea of blood.
Yeah. So that's it's awesome.
Yeah.
Do they are the weak ones sort of on the shore cheering?
Yeah.
Go,
Like sort of
yes,
this
good
little
job.
weak. Want to do another one?
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back.
that was Vomit Fist.
Yeah.
It takes longer to describe the mythology
Right,
Then the
than
song.
the tune. It's like the mythology takes maybe 1,500 words. That's culled down to like 15 words
In the song.
told in 45 seconds.
But someone I know is safe and snug, and they're drifting off to sleep. Round and round, a little boat no bigger than your hand, out on the ocean, far away from land. Take the little sail down, light the little light. This is the way to the garden in the night.